Yep, you heard it here. That's what I call a funky chicken. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show where things filled with hot air are featured today prominently because, oh boy, yes, we have that spy balloon over Montana and something and other China-related things.
China is asshole.
Eric Swalwell did something stupid, which I'm sure sounds a little redundant to everybody, but, you know, I'm sorry, you probably didn't hear me. I said that's redundant. Anyway, I have some items today, some programming notes, some articles that are going to, in the tab down at there, or the link that I put in the whatever in the description. And it'll be just one of those days. Hey, I got some good news too. On Monday, little programming note. I'm going to have Mr. Jericho Green on the show, but not during the day because the morning show Monday ain't happening. I'll tell you why. But yeah, Jericho Green's going to join me Monday afternoon doing a special episode of what do I call that? The afternoon view. I got to come up with a better name for that because it's when I do afternoon interviews and special readings and stuff. But anyway, so that'll be fun. So no news is good news with Gary News. I don't even know who Gary News is, but anyway, hope you all are ready for a show. Shall we start this thing? Here, let's pause this and we'll start this. Johnny, play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Yep, that's me. Stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live on this Friday, the 3rd of February, 2023, also known as Funky Friday. Yes, we enjoy some funky sounds from wherever I can find them. Thank goodness for my music service. They got some good stuff on here. I started listening to some of the songs that actually have lyrics, and they've got some good stuff. Anyway, they do a good job. Anyway, so happy Friday. Do I keep this on? I don't know. We'll see. I'll see how long I can stand listening to it. It's hard. Anyway, so we got quite a bit to go through today, as always. But first, as always, I want to say good morning to everybody. I'll leave the funky music on until I get done with this, and we'll dispense with it after that. But first in the chat over on Rumble's Advocatus Diablo, who gets the bell.
You are the new Streamlabs.
Every day I hit the wrong damn button. Also, good morning, Mike Savage, Blarg, Jimmy Das Hotep's over there. Also, good morning, Shady Grin, Simon Wolfwood, and I think, and TC is in the house. On YouTube, first in the chat. Now, this is a new one. You know, I actually laughed out loud when I saw who was first on YouTube. That would be Rabid. Rabbit gets the bell. I know who you really are, I think. Anyway, also good morning, Advocatus Diabli. Mornikin. I don't know what that means. Also, good morning, Tyrannus, Alexandrius, Tremere Lich, a.k.a. Tyre Alexander. H.P. Lovecraft is in the house. Mike Savage, Blarg, Somnambule Nation is here. Also, good morning to Trippy Liberty here. Welcome to Aaron Meredith. And let's see, I got to scroll a little faster here. Holy moly. Where is everybody? Lord Stanhope's in the house. And I'm just looking. Zach Osborne, Plague Doctor Zach is here. James Colley, what's up? Turn what into a drinking game? Every time Biden stutters, drink. Every time he says Ukraine, drink. When he bashes the U.S. or MAGA, make him double shots. Is the State of the Union this coming Tuesday? State of the Union stream. Oh, maybe we should do a State of the Union stream. That would be good, except, that's so boring. I wonder if he's going to have more than 20 minutes of a State of the Union. That'd be interesting to see. I somehow doubt it. But we'll see. Anyway, that's the good idea. Maybe we should do a State of the Union stream. Also, good morning. My favorite Canadian Jaeger pony is in the chat. TC's in the house. Simon Wolfwood. How far do I got to scroll to find new people? Y'all been chatting away a storm. Let's see. Oh, Black Keeper is your light.
That's right.
Welcome back, sir. Mr. Scott. I got that. I got that thing you sent me, Mr. Scott. As you see on Twitter. And I think that's everybody in the chat. All right. So people come in here slowly but surely. Okay. Please stop that music. It's hard for me to concentrate because I like listening to it, but then I like to talk too. And it's hard to talk when I'm listening to music. I can walk to chew bubble gum, but talking and listening to music's a little bit tougher. All right. Just a reminder, y'all are the sponsors of this show. Looks like everybody's hit the like button so far. So I appreciate that. That is awesome. Also, you can sponsor the show by sharing this stream. Let people know. In fact, let's see who let people know already. I'm going to go to my notifications here. Let's see. Jimmy Das Hotep, thank you for tweeting out the Rumble link. I greatly appreciate that. Somnambull Nation with the YouTube link. I appreciate that. And maybe if you could even just, let's see. Okay. Then the rest of you let's get on it. Let's get some more people in here. Oh, by the way, my goal for next week. Now, this is a lofty goal. But next Friday, as you know, I will be celebrating my 1,000th episode of the Morning Night Live. 1,000 damn episodes. That's a lot of episodes. Been doing this for just over 4 years. Pretty much, I think I missed maybe 5 or 6 shows in that time. Well, I suppose when I was on vacation, I missed a couple more. But I actually streamed from the boat when I was on the Danube River over in Austria. But I didn't do it every morning, so I admit that. But anyway, 1,000 episodes this coming Friday. One thing I've asked people to do, if you want to do it too, I'd be certainly happy. If you want to make a short, literally short, like just 5, 10, 15 seconds max video, congratulating the show, and send that to me either by email or you can post it on YouTube as a unlisted video and just give me the link. I'm making a compilation video of congratulations because some people have been congratulating me already. And so if you want to do that, you can send that to pdognight@gmail.com or you can post it on YouTube unlisted. Send me a link. I'd be grateful for that. I'm just going to make a long compilation. That's going to be that'll be my standby for a while here. And so I'm if you want to do that, a lot of people have already done it. I sent out some messages, just private messages to a few people, but I'd certainly be happy if you all did it too. Just a thought. And that compilation will be out. So anyway, thank you again. Oh, Mike Savage too for retweeting the show. I greatly appreciate it. Oh wait, no, that's something else. That's something else. Never mind. What am I looking at here? I got to pay attention. So anyway, so there's a lot of news coming that's coming fast and furious, I suppose. Let me give you a couple though, because this one is concerning, and these are just some headlines from this morning, trending stuff on Twitter, etc. Apparently, there was a Republican New Jersey councilwoman killed by a gunman. I believe it was yesterday. This is not good. I just saw this morning from the Washington Free Beacon. Republican borough councilwoman in Sayreville, New Jersey, was shot and killed Wednesday in what police said was likely a targeted attack. Eunice Dwumfor, elected to the Sayreville Council in 2021, was shot by an unidentified assailant Wednesday night when she was in her car outside her home. Police said they believe Dwumfor was the intended target of the gunman, and they did not identify the motive of the attack. Local residents told RLS Media that shooter was seen running from the crime scene toward a nearby Garden State Parkway. Governor Phil Murphy expressed shock at Dwumfor's killing, and Sayreville Mayor Victoria Fitzpatrick praised Dwumfor as a dedicated member of our borough council. Now, now this is, clearly this is, anytime a Democrat is in a situation like this, well, of course, this is the right-wing hate machine, right? Well, murder comes as Democrats, including President Joe Biden, have accused Republicans of fomenting a climate of political violence against their opponents, while Democratic lawmakers have received death threats, and Representative Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked by a man who sought to kidnap the Democrat. Numerous conservatives have faced violent threats as well. Well, yeah, and guess what? That jackhole that was in Paul Pelosi's house, I don't think he was a Republican. I don't think he was on the right. I don't think he was, well, first of all, he was a Canadian, illegal immigrant from Canada. I know Canadians. I always say Canada because I think it's funny. I hope that doesn't annoy you. Yeah, he was an illegal immigrant from Canada who lived in a commune, basically, nudist colony, and had all this other weird shit going on. That's not a right-wing dude that went after Paul Pelosi. But anyway. And then a gunman seeking to kill Justice Brett Kavanaugh was arrested outside the Justice home in June. In October, a shot was fired in the family home of North Carolina Republican candidate. In September, a North Dakota man ran over a teenager in his car, killing the teen, told police he did so because he thought the victim was a part of a Republican extremist group. So yeah, y'all, the Democrats whining and talking about violence. Let's just remember, y'all, y'all don't have clean hands either as far as the rhetoric, okay? In fact, every time you call Republicans extremists or hate-filled, or any kind of that kind of language, y'all realize you're showing your own hate, right? You're the ones who are projecting hate by using that type of language to describe your opponents. And that type of language, if you say, if words matter, if you think words are the problem, maybe you should look in the mirror and learn how to change your vocabulary too. And I have other choice words I can use, but I can't say them this early in a YouTube video. So there. Anyway, good morning, Unacceptable Views. I see you. Jaeger Pony says, I prefer Canuckistan. Okay, well, that doesn't roll off the tongue as Canada, kind of fits Canadians, Canuckistanis. I don't know. I'll figure it out. We'll find a name. Local politician being shot, either completely random or personal. Those positions are usually not high profile enough to incur that kind of action. No, I agree. I should probably clarify. I don't necessarily agree that this is some, oh my gosh, and it's a black woman too. Oh no! See now, racist Democrats. No, look, I when I say that this is, what the hell's that? What the
Ladies and gentlemen,
no! Stop! Thank you. I don't know what the hell that was. No, I know that this is probably not likely. Well, I don't know. It's probably not due to rhetoric, whatnot, but I'm just playing their game. This is the Democrats' game, so I was being facetious. Anyway, also, State of the Union coming up. Well, there's been an announcement of who's going to deliver the GOP rebuttal to the State of the Union address, and that's going to be drum. Oh, I don't have a drum roll. I need to add a drum roll. Drum roll, please. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders will be delivering the GOP rebuttal to Biden's State of the Union address. Oh boy, you know that people are going to be ripping on her, but she's not a dummy. She's pretty smart. Anyway, Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders will deliver the GOP rebuttal to President Joe Biden's State of the Union address. Basically, okay, look, she must have drew the short straw because anyone Republican or Democrat, who gets stuck with the complete farce that is called the rebuttal to the President's State of the Union address, I feel sorry for them. It is, and now sometimes it's done by people who are up and coming in the party and whatnot, but I don't care. The State of the Union rebuttal is the most anticlimactic thing on the planet, partially because nobody really listens to it, right? Because the president gives a State of the Union address, and it's up, down, clap, and up, down, and clap, and live audience, boo, clap, boo, whatever. And there, the spectacle of it. And then when the State of the Union address is over, all the pundits are talking about the State of the Union address. They don't care about the rebuttal. Nobody listens to the rebuttal except for people like me who are, political junkies. So, and then I listen to it just to see how boring it is, and usually it is boring. Who knows if she could, they should have Santos. That would have been awesome. Anyway, wait a minute. Oh dear, P-Dog yelling at a woman, his daughter on top of it. Tis, tis, tis. No. I wasn't yelling at my daughter. I love my daughter. Hello, Tyler F., by the way. And Jeff Overturf, what's happening? So anyway, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy announced the pick on Thursday, garnering rave reviews from fellow Republicans. Really? Because I think she got rave reviews. Now, no, she can give a speech, but the reason that she got rave reviews, those are all the people who got out of doing it. Oh, thank God I don't have to do that shit because it's boring. It's terrible. I hate it. Anyway, the opposition's response to the State of the Union address is typically delegated to a rising star in the party after to offer a countervailing policy agenda to the nation. This year's matchup on Tuesday night will pit Biden against a high-profile member of former President Donald Trump's White House. So, okay, that's interesting. I'm sure there's going to be people who are just chomping at the bit to savage that choice on the left, but whatever. And then also they later announced that Representative Juan Ciscomani, Republican of Arizona, will deliver the Spanish language GOP address to response to the Biden State of the Union address. So they're going to do one in English and in Spanish. I don't know if that's good for them, but I suppose there's a lot of Spanish-speaking people who want to hear it. But anyway, you know who Sarah Sanders is, so that's interesting, I guess. All right, let's see. Let's move on to some. Wait, what's this? Oh, I don't know why I do that. I don't need that. Let's move on to something that's trending on Twitter and of great concern to the United States of America, and that is things filled with air. No, I'm not talking about Eric Swalwell's head, although I'm going to be later. No, China's trending, and that's because there's this thing. There's this thing out in the sky over Montana. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's not a giant, it's not a giant breast implant. No, it's a Chinese spy balloon. And now this is Robbie Starbuck saying, shoot it down. Absolutely no reason to let Communist China fly this over the U.S. Well, okay, so there's a Chinese spy balloon flying over Montana. Here's the story from NBC. Suspected Chinese spy balloon found over northern U.S. The United States government is tracking a high-altitude surveillance balloon that is over the continental United States right now, according to a Pentagon spokesman. The U.S. military has been monitoring the suspected balloon that has been hovering over the northern U.S. for the past few days, and military and defense leaders discussed shooting it out of the sky, according to U.S. officials. Well, they discussed it, but apparently they're not going to do it. They're afraid that debris is going to fall on people, even though it's over the middle of Montana, which... rural Montana, for that matter. Anyway, the United States government has detected and is tracking a high-altitude surveillance balloon that is over the continental United States right now. Pentagon spokesman Brigadier General Pat Ryder told NBC News, "We continue to track and monitor it closely. Once the balloon was detected, the U.S. government acted immediately to protect against the collection of sensitive information." Well, it's still there. What are you talking about? Anyway, the high-altitude balloon was spotted over Billings, Montana on Wednesday and flew over the Aleutian Islands through Canada into Montana. A senior defense official said the balloon is still over the U.S., but declined to say where it is now. So as I'm looking at this story, right, I wanted to see how different media were covering it, because this is just a very matter-of-fact story. Let's see. They continued, the leaders reviewed the threat profile of the Chinese stratospheric balloon and possible response options, and ultimately decided not to recommend taking it out kinetically because of the risk of safety and security of people on the ground from a possible debris field. Pentagon leaders presented the options to President Joe Biden on Wednesday. Well, you know Joe Biden's not going to have him taken out there because, there's a reason he's called Beijing Joe Biden. But by the way, good morning, Rotten Corpse. I see you in the chat. Also, welcome Calm Doyle, who has subscribed to the channel. I appreciate that. Say hi in the chat if you get a chance. Let's see. And thank you, Mr. Scott, for sponsoring the show. And you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Sky. He said, this is Mr. Scott saying this. Sky rockets in flight. Woo! Afternoon delight. No, this is not about afternoon delight. But wait. Oh, maybe in some ways that might be foreshadowing where I'm going with this. We'll see. Let's just hang on and pay attention. Okay, pay attention. So anyway, this is the NBC News is really just a very kind of very specific, or excuse me, fairly neutral account of this. Currently, we assess that this balloon has limited additional value from an intelligent collective perspective over and above what the PRC can do through other means, the senior defense official said. Nevertheless, we are taking all the necessary steps to protect against foreign intelligence collection of sensitive information. The official said the balloon does not pose a threat to civilian aviation because of its altitude. So this thing's way, way up there, right? Because the first thing I thought to myself, is this a job for the Air Force or is this a job for Space Force? I mean, how far is this thing up there? The official said the U.S. military will continue to monitor it closely and will keep the option of taking the balloon out on the table. This is breaching United States airspace. They have every right to take it out. Maybe that's just because they're not sure how they're going to take it out without protecting people on the ground. I'm not sure. U.S. is confident the balloon belongs to China, officials said. And they have communicated with the Chinese government through multiple channels, both here in D.C. and in Beijing. The official did not say whether the Chinese admitted the balloon is theirs. Well, I'm sure that they, they probably...
China is asshole.
Oh, excuse me. They probably admitted it. Or they probably know it's there. We all know it's theirs. They got a flight path, and it comes from China. It came from China. So anyway... now there's more to this story. Let me do this chat real quick. Thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep, for sponsoring the show. And Jimmy Das Hotep, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. He said, Jimmy Das says, oh, wait, you know what I forgot on the last one? What I forgot to do on the last chat is it's Funky Friday. During Funky Friday, when I read the chats, we got to have some funk. Thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep, for sponsoring the show, dropping a big bullet in the tip jar. Jimmy Das says, they are just monitoring all the land the U.S. government has let them invest in. Government pretends to care. Yes, sir. That is so apropos. Good morning, Rusty Shack. I see you up in the chat there. Yes, 223 and 526 is GAE ammo. Yes, if you go onto my on the Streamlabs link, which is pdognight.live, where you can sponsor the show. That's how Jimmy Dawson, Mr. Scott do that thing. I have some random dollar amounts in there. They're all kind of bullet related. Well, not necessarily, but you can put your own custom amounts in. In fact, if you look at the description and you want to see a specific little thing pop up right over here, the thing that pops up over here when when your donation comes up, there's a list of choices down there. And if you want to see some pretty girls, there's some pretty girls. If you want to see some pretty guys, there's some pretty guys. There's some not so pretty guys, and there's some interesting other stuff that you can put up there. So check out the description, and if you want to see one of those things pop up, just drop a little green in the tip jar. All right, let's move on. Stop that music. Thank you. All right, now let's talk a little bit more about this. Oh, wait a minute. China has satellites. They sent probes to the moon. No need to announce and send a balloon 3 bus sizes over the North Pole. Yeah, I'm just saying, there's something weird about this, right? Welsh Republic Podcast, good morning. Nice to have you drop in, too. So, anyway, there's more about, now I'm going to look at how some other people cover this. So let's check out the right-wing side, or at least the I shouldn't say the right wing. Let's say the establishment right-wing channel, Fox News. They say, let's see, China confirms the balloon is there. Is theirs. Excuse me, not there. We know it's there. They confirm it's there now. And a spokesman now claims it is a civilian research airship. Right. Sure it is. The People's Republic of China has confirmed Friday that the balloon craft floating over the northern United States is Chinese.
China is asshole.
The airship is from China. It is a civilian airship used for research, mainly meteorological purposes, a Chinese foreign ministry spokesman confirmed Friday. Affected by the westerlies and with limited self-steering capability, the airship deviated far from its planned course. The spokesperson said, China regrets the incident. Okay. So it's okay if we shoot it down then, right? Because you don't need it not coming back. It's stuck in the wind, right? Does it have any like navigation capabilities? I don't even know. I don't know how these balloons work. Anyway. So anyway, and that's someone from Disclosed TV also mentioned that, yes, the Chinese balloon in U.S. airspace came from China and is of a civilian nature, China's foreign ministry claims. All right. Here's the Daily Wire, Chinese spy balloon hovering over the United States. Now, the Daily Wire went there. They said it's a spy balloon. The suspected Chinese reconnaissance balloon device was seen flying over the United States this week, according to U.S. authorities, and is still being tracked. But I think this was yesterday's report. Yeah, this is yesterday. So this morning, the newest news is the Chinese are claiming it is a weather balloon, basically. Maddie, I see in the chat, good morning. And Anna Lynn, good morning to you too. So anyway, now PJ Media, is this yesterday's report? Yeah, this is yesterday. Now this is a good question. Why is a giant Chinese spy balloon hovering over Montana? Now, you can read this article too. It gives its own explanations, but I know there is also more breaking news. I'll tell you in a minute. Politico, same thing. Oh, McCarthy now. Is this yesterday or today? This is 2 days ago, Wednesday. McCarthy calls for intel briefing on Chinese spy balloon over Montana. So everyone's really concerned about it. But I have an exclusive. I absolutely have an exclusive. I know exactly why this balloon is hovering over the United States. And it's breaking news. Now, you can, in this first photo, hang on a second. I'm going to put me on here, make sure I got the right photo. I don't want to make sure YouTube didn't flip any weird things on me. Okay, here is, I've got some exclusive photos. Now, it's really hard to see. This is one side of the balloon that they put out there. If you want to look really closely, we know what happened. Okay, someone finally got some satellite imagery that you can see the thing a little bit clearer. Here it is. Now, if you can see, look at this picture of the balloon. There's a little, it's very faint on this side of the balloon, and it looks like it says Fang, and then there's this little heart thing here, and I can kind of make out the word Eric. Now, I'm not sure what that means. Fang, heart, Eric. Now, this was one outlet that had this very exclusive photo, but now another outlet has got a picture of the other side of the balloon, and it is much, much clearer. Hang on, let me see if I can find that photo real quick. Yes, here it is. I think they found a very clear picture of the other side of the balloon, and we see what happened here. Eric, happy Valentine's Day. Love Fang. All right, there we go. That is the real purpose behind the Chinese spy balloon. Thank you very much for indulging me. But yeah, that's some great investigative work. Someone got some really nice pictures of the spy balloon. All right, let's move on. Speaking of Eric Swalwell, well, let's talk about the people in Congress who are very upset that Ilhan Omar has been removed from the committee. And I'll get to Eric Swalwell in a minute because he's the other. Well, I said this is about things that are filled with air. Today's show, like, the name of the show is Hot Air Filled Problems or shit like that. Something I don't remember the name of the show is. But anyway, let's take a quick look at this issue with the people being thrown off of committees. Now, yesterday there was thank you, Treetop Homestead, for joining us in the show. If you want to drop in the chat, that'd be cool too. Okay, so people were thrown off of their committees in Congress, but yesterday there was a debate over apparently Ilhan Omar being removed from one committee in Congress, the Foreign Affairs Committee. Apparently, the GOP is not happy that she was still on the Foreign Affairs Committee after some comments she made. Furry Kittens in the house. I see you over there on Rumble. I'm sorry, I get distracted easily. So anyway, this is I went to this article from the American Spectator. Now there's all kinds of articles about it, but here it is. Because the people in Congress on the side that they call the blue side have been losing their minds over this. And I'll show you a couple of the speeches, but here we go. Congress just threw Ilhan Omar off the Foreign Affairs Committee, and the squad went bonkers. Okay, the GOP is standing its ground as a matter of principle. So we don't really need to do too much commentary here because what you'll see below speaks for itself. I'm going to show you some other stuff, but here it is. The House voted Thursday to kick Minnesota Democrat Ilhan Omar off the House Foreign Affairs Committee, a decision that Republicans vowed to take because of Omar's history of anti-Semitic and anti-American remarks. The resolution was approved 218 to 211 in a vote after a heated debate in which Democrats accused Republicans of racism and hypocrisy. Wait, where's that button? Where's this one?
That's racist!
Claimed the GOP is only policing Democrats for questionable behavior. Omar and several other Democrats openly accused Republicans of racism.
That's racist!
I am Muslim. Here, I'll let you see the speeches, okay? But apparently, whatever the speeches weren't convincing, obviously, and shouldn't have been. Omar, who's almost surely broke U.S. immigration laws by marrying her brother for a green card, is the most consistently anti-American politician in the country. She's an utterly disgraceful immigrant. Okay, now, this is their editorial. This is not me speaking, although I concur with some of it. Is the most consistently anti-American politician in the country. She's an utterly ungrateful immigrant who attacks our country and our allies, excuses terrorism, and nonchalantly dismisses our national interests. Not to mention, she's the most virulent anti-Semite in American politics. Anyway, when the vote was made following a precedent set when Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats threw Marjorie Taylor Greene off all her committee assignments because they said she was a QAnon follower. Something there was fairly shaky evidence of. Omar's fellow left-wing anti-American nutters lost their minds on the House floor. So I'm going to show you some of those speeches, but let's move. Oh, that's not where I was going. What the hell? Why are these? I got these in the wrong order. What the heck did I do there? Let's move. Okay, I got to move these. Move these over here. 1, 2, 3. Is that it? And this is, what the hell? That's just notifications. I don't need that. By the way, thank you, Jay Wolf and Mike Savage, for retweeting the show this morning, and I appreciate it. All right, here's first. let's listen to AOC because good morning, Green Badger Outdoors, who says translation. Hoes mad. Yes, they are. So let's start with AOC. Now, a lot of people have seen this one, but I haven't got to make fun of it yet. So here we go. AOC bringing out some church voice, or excuse me. Well, she there's some black people in the background here, so she decided that she was gonna pull out her code switch black woman voice, even though she grew up in a lily white suburb. Here we go.
As a fellow New Yorker.
As a fellow New Yorker. Wait a minute. Let's just stop right there. Hey, Alexandria, dear, Miss Ocasio-Cortez. Ilhan Omar's not a New Yorker. I don't know. Maybe she's talking to some other New Yorkers, or I don't know. But whatever.
One of the things that we should talk about here.
Let's talk about
one
it.
Of the disgusting legacies after 9/11
Wait, disgusting what after 9/11? What did she say?
The disgusting legacies after 9/11.
Oh, the disgusting legacies.
Targeting and racism against Muslim Americans throughout the United States of America.
Targeting and racism against Muslim Americans? Racism against Muslim Americans? Muslims not a race. There are a lot of white Muslims in America. I know what she's trying to go with, but I'd like to say that Muslim is not a race. But continue.
America, and this is an extension of that legacy.
This is an extension of that legacy. Okay, not that because okay. Let me ask you this: is Ilhan Omar the only Muslim in Congress? I don't think so. I think there's a few. Not a bunch, but there's a few. She's not the only one. That's what I said. Broadcorps, exactly. What race exactly is Muslim? But now, if she'd have said Islamophobia, I'd give her half credit. Half a credit. That's it. Because I don't give her much credit anyway. All right, here we go.
See, there is nothing consistent with the Republican Party's
she's bouncing up and down now. She's bouncing up and down.
Racism and incitement of violence against women of color in this body.
Whoa! What? What? What is she? Wait a minute. Now let me think about something. There's 3 people in Congress who are being removed from a single committee assignment each. Ilhan Omar, woman of color. Okay, I got you. The pencil neck guy, Adam Schiff. Yep. Okay. Woman of color. That's Adam Schiff. He's definitely a woman of color. And Eric Swalwell, who may not be a woman of color, but he had some loving with the woman of color. So close enough. Okay. I got you. Okay. AOC, you got it. Yeah, you got it. You got him. Got him. Got he. Hello, Selected Boy.
Yeah, boy.
All right. Keep going there, AOC.
I had a member of the Republican caucus threaten my life, and you.
Whoa. She had a member of the Republican caucus threaten her life? What? Hold up. Hey, when did that Republican threaten your life? Hold up. Hey, I just don't seem to recall. Hey. Okay, I think I know what she's talking about. I think wasn't there some time that some Republican was talking about, or did an ad or some kind of meme about policies, and he was going to take out some policies from different people, and talking about wokeness. Did he something? AOC was in the meme or something like that, and some jackass liberal outlets claimed that it was a threat, a physical threat, because I'm pretty confident that her life was never actually threatened. I think but she's milking this. Because remember, on that fateful day, one of the worst attacks in our democracy in U.S. history, January 6th, she was also almost killed. So, I think maybe she's delusional. Anyway.
and the Republican caucus rewarded him.
Oh,
with
they
one of the
rewarded
most
him.
prestigious committee assignments.
Now, why is she bouncing up and down? Here she goes. She tried to act like, she tried to act like Reverend Al. Like when remember she was in New York and she was speaking in front of the NAACP and she did that code switch voice. She's doing it right now. She's bouncing up and down. She's trying to preach. Preach, AOC. Preach.
In this Congress, don't tell me.
Oh,
this is about
she got the hand waving. She's like Howard Dean, got the hand waving, trying to rile up the brothers and sisters in the congregation. Way to go, AOC.
Consistency.
Consistency. Don't tell me this, that, and don't tell me none of this, and don't tell me none of that, because you know the Lord is on my side. Can I get an amen? The Lord is on my side. Can I get an amen? The Lord is on my side. Stop bouncing. What the kind of a face did I pause there? Stop bouncing up and down, woman.
Tell me that this is about a condemnation of anti-Semitic remarks when you have a member of the Republican caucus who has talked about Jewish space lasers.
Space lasers. She can't even get it out.
And an entire amount of tropes, and also elevated her to some of the highest committee assignments.
Did they, though? Or did they just put her on committees? Because Nancy Pelosi stripped her of all of her committees. So, you know, there's a precedent set here. And perhaps the GOP, which I don't necessarily agree. Look, even Matt Gaetz was considering the idea that perhaps removing Ilhan Omar from the Foreign Affairs Committee may not be a good idea, or may not. But you know what? Guess what? 218 to 211, they dumped her from the committee. Okay. Do you hate democracy, AOC? Do you hate democracy? Because that's what democracy is. That's when that 218 wolves decided what was for dinner, okay? And that day, it was Ilhan Omar. So if you hate democracy so much, maybe win some elections, and then you could fix how you want to fix it. But let's just remember, every time a Democrat, a leader, sets a precedent, it comes back to bite you in the ass. So here you go. Here's you know what? Welcome to America and democracy that you want. Okay, that's the democracy you want. So there you go. Thank you, Maddie, for sponsoring the show. Appreciate you. Dropping a 5-spot in the jar. Maddie says, she's not being evangelical. She's being a typical Latina who can't stand still when they're pissed. I do that too, LOL. I was waiting for her to lift off the ground. Oh, she did it a couple times. I'm telling you, she did. Also, thank you, Chicago Bite. Also dropping a big bullet in the tip jar. And also, you are the Streamlabs 2-star sponsor of the day, co-sponsor, who says, we need Scribe's what the fuck button for AOC, or WTF for AOC. Yeah, I need a WTF button too. Anyway, all right, thank you all, Maddie and Chicago Mike, for sponsoring the show. Stop the music. All right, let's finish up with Ding Dong here, and we'll keep going. I know that's not respectful, but I don't have to be respectful. I'm just a guy over here on YouTube. What up, Jay? Jay's World is in the house. Nice to see ya. Okay, here we go.
This is about targeting women of color.
No, whoa, again. This is about targeting women of color. Yes, Eric Swalwell and the pencil-necked one were both born a poor black child. Anyway, the Jim Neighbor, what's up? Israel's space lasers are real. It's called the Iron Beam. Does that thing work? I don't even know. All right.
In the United States.
Yes, they're targeting women of color.
Erica, don't tell me.
Oh, don't tell me.
Get a single apology.
Oh, what did she bobbing her head now too? Okay, Maddie, y'all got that from black people. I'm just saying. Oh, Lord.
Thank you.
Oh, and slam that. Smack that podium. Smack that podium. Okay. I'm sorry. I took it off the screen, didn't I? Anyway, here, I'm going to let you see her smack the podium. Here she goes.
Tell me, because I didn't get a single apology when my life was threatened.
Your life was not threatened. Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop lying. Yes, I think, yes, someone said in the chat it was Paul Gosar who did that. Yes, it was a jerk reference. I like to use jerk references when it comes to, not that kind of jerk. Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking about the movie. Okay, so that was her. Let's see, who else came out here? Oh, Eric Swalwell. Now speaking of people with Chinese-related things that are filled with air, Eric Swalwell also decided that he was going to chime in on this. And what's interesting, so he retweeted, oh, by the way, Glenn Greenwald makes a good point. I think I just kind of made it also. Glenn Greenwald says, there were 3 members stripped of the GOP by the GOP of special committees. Adam Schiff, the pencil-necked one, yes, who was born a poor black child, and Eric Swalwell, who, yes, also was born a poor black child and may have, well, I'm not going to talk about what he did to Fang Fang, but anyway, and Ilhan Omar. So I believe not all are women of color. And what is this new fake contrived speaking style? Well, this is a fake contrived speaking style that AOC likes to use when she's in front of in front of anywhere near minorities. So when she was in the NAACP meeting in New York and she was speaking in that language, talking about, how about bus drivers and shit, and she used that kind of language. And so, see, she's there in front of Cory Bush and some other black guy who people are members of Congress. So she's up in the black guy revival style. But then she starts in front of like audiences in Brooklyn. If there happens to be some Hispanic people in the audience, then she all of a sudden starts talking in her kind of a Puerto Rican accent. And so she just, again, she's a shape-shifting code switcher. So Hotep Dutch, what's up? Good morning. Nice to have you in the chat. So anyway, let's, but now Eric Swalwell, several of the people were giving speeches on Ilhan Omar's behalf, but Eric Swalwell retweeted this one. Now this is when I say the Chinese related things with air in them, I am, in this particular case, I'm talking about Eric Swalwell's head, because Eric Swalwell retweeted this, his speech, and I thought it was, of course, a lot of people in Congress like to retweet what they do just to make sure their constituents, are paying attention and like what they do. But there's a little problem with this one. This was a little different, okay? This was a little different because I'll let you see what he said, and then I want to make sure you understand what happened here. So this is the oh, wait, this is important that I do this. Hang on a second. Hold on. Some accountability from this conference. Stop. No, not stop. There was stop. What'd I do? Uh-oh. We're in Boomer Vision, but you didn't see it. What the hell did I just do? Okay, there we go. All right, so Eric Swalwell retweeted this, and this is from none other than Carpe Dunctum. Carpe Dunctum put this out here, who said, I want to thank you, Representative Eric Swalwell, for standing up and saying the truth. The person who tweeted that should be prosecuted. Now, let me blow this up a little bit so you can see what the hell I'm talking about. We'll put this on full screen, or full, and we'll do this right here. Eric Swalwell retweeted that, and here is this part of the speech that Eric Swalwell highlighted himself saying.
Madam Speaker, when I heard that we're going to remove a member of this House from their committee for anti-Semitism, I raced down here. Because
You raced down there.
In this chamber, there's going to be some accountability. Some accountability from this conference that continues to allow its members to root for rioters.
Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Remember, Eric Swalwell retweeted this. But hang on. Watch Corey, what's her name? Corey, whatever her name is, from St. Louis area. Watch her face when you hear that little extra emphasis.
That continues to allow its members to root for rioters.
You got a little laugh out of that. Now, but let's see what else he said. Hang on.
a conference that harbors a wanted
Oh, wait a minute.
criminal.
I forgot about something. Read the tweet he's referencing. A pinned tweet by Eric Swalwell. Feeling cute, might fart on TV, threaten to nuke somebody, or bang a Chinese spy later. I don't know. YOLO! Eric Swalwell retweeted this.
And has members who choose violence over voting every single day. Finally.
Look at this guy's face. Wait a minute. On the second one, look at this guy's face when they decide. Whoever edited this did a really good job of making sure that he did it at the right time that people start laughing. Watch.
Members who choose violence over voting every single day. Finally. And so I thought, we're going to hold someone accountable. Sure, it's the
Corey, what the hell's her name? Corey, not Corey Haim. Look at this. Look at this face. What the hell's her name? Somebody's got to know her name. Corey something from Missouri. She's a congresswoman from near St. Louis. I can't think of it. Someone will think of it. Anyway, look at this. Look at the face right here. She like, oh man. Man, oh man, oh man. Anyway, so that's he.
We're gonna hold someone accountable.
So Eric Swalwell retweeted this. Anyway, all these squad types and the Democrats were really up in arms about this. Some very impassioned speeches. Who else? And Rashida Tlaib. She had another one. I always call her Madam, because wait, let me find. Where the hell is it? Oh, here you go. Let's go to Rashida Tlaib. I call her Madam because you know. Remember the puppet Madam, the wooden puppet. I don't remember the handler's name, but it's a pretty funny comedian from back in the 70s and 80s, and he had that wooden puppet called Madam, right? With the chin that sticks out there. That reminds me of Rashida Tlaib. I don't know why. I shouldn't make fun of how she looks, but it just reminds me of her. I don't know why. But or is this no? Not Rashida. Pramila Jayapal. That's what I'm talking about. I always think of her as Madam because she kind of just looks like Madam. I'm just saying.
We have previously voted in a bipartisan manner to remove individuals from their committee assignments
She's
because
very
of
upset.
their violent actions that endangered the safety of their colleagues.
Really? What
That
violent
is not
actions?
What today is about.
What violent
today
actions?
Is about revenge. It is also about the.
What violent actions? Can you please be specific about the violent actions that you were talking about? That's not why Marjorie Taylor Greene was removed from committees. That is not it at all. Okay? She had no violent action. Violence is a physical thing, not words in people's mouths. And she didn't threaten anybody. Although, except for AOC was threatened by a meme, of course, and by an officer knocking on her door in the office building 300 yards away from where some shit was going down. Hello, Machine Man. How you doing? Anyway.
The fact that Republicans want to distract the American people from the fact that they have absolutely no legislation to bring to the floor that is actually about helping the American people.
I would like to have Congress take a couple years off from making any kind of legislation because every time they do, all they do is take some more money out of my pocket. So I don't care what they do. They're not doing anything worth a damn. But anyway, by the way, Machine Man, welcome to the show. A newer viewer, I should say.
With their costs, with dealing with inflation, you don't have any solutions, so you're trying to distract.
But wait, your solutions are spend more money and print more money and make the printers go. Those printers, the gears are wearing out. You're printing so much damn money, so you ain't helping inflation anyway.
With these inane,
gentlewoman's time has expired.
Absurd, absolutely absurd resolutions.
And she's very upset. No. She's very upset. Okay. So she's very upset. I don't think that had to do with Ilhan Omar. I don't know who this guy is. Pocan points out the Republicans are trying to oust Ilhan Omar while seating George Santos and the space lasers ladies on committees. That's another one. Then Rashida Tlaib got very emotional about this.
To the American people, you are showing who you all are, really.
She's in tears.
The gentlewoman's time has expired. Will not be silenced.
The gentlewoman's time has expired.
It's interesting, too, by the way. They're not removing her from all committees like they did with MTG or whatever. Marjorie Taylor Greene. They're not removing her from all committees. One committee. One committee. She got all the other committee assignments. They're removing her from one committee, and these people are losing their damn minds. Nancy Pelosi set the precedent. Just like Harry Reid set the precedent for the judge thing. And now you got 3 appointments by the guy with the funny hair. Anyway, she's in tears.
I am so sorry, sis, expired. That our country is failing you today through this chamber. You belong.
The gentlewoman is no longer recognized, and the gentleman.
Okay, so she's very, very upset. And then Ilhan Omar, he's got 3 clips of her here. So anyway, but anyway, like I said, 3 members were stripped, and 2 of them were white men.
You're fucking a white male.
So whatever. But you can milk these. You can milk this one with Ilhan Omar because she's a Democratic shield. See, they're just using her as a shield. Seriously. They're using her as a shield. And as a propaganda tool, because those are the sound bites that are going to get out in the media. The media will happily promote those sound bites from those congressmen. So AOC with her, tent revival, talk. Actually, not even a tent revival because that's white people thing. She's in a black church. She's in a church in Atlanta somewhere. Okay, because that will make the news by making these impassioned pleas based on the racism against Muslims. I guess. I don't know. So anyway, and Eric Swalwell, the genius that he is, retweeting Carpe Diem. Just hilarious. Okay, next. How much time do I got? I'm okay. I might get through this stuff today. As almost every other week, Kyle Rittenhouse is trending again. But this time there's actually a reason Kyle Rittenhouse is trending. Where's it? I have 2 articles. I have 2 or 3. I got 3 articles of his. First, I'm going to go through the articles because, there's a wrongful death suit being brought on by, the father of, what's the guy's name? The father of Anthony Huber, okay, the skateboard dude. The dude that came when Kyle was on the ground trying to run towards the police. Kyle Rittenhouse is on the ground, and Anthony Huber came over and started smashing him with a skateboard, hit him twice with a skateboard, then tried to grab his gun, and then he was perforated by the report from that particular weapon, and unfortunately lost his life. Rather than just being deterred. And so the father of Anthony Huber is suing, or the family or father, whatever, is suing Kyle Rittenhouse and the police department in Kenosha, Wisconsin, for a wrongful death suit. And there was a motion to dismiss that case. And a couple days ago, a judge said that the lawsuit could proceed. Now, I get tired of talking about Kyle Rittenhouse because I know I watched the entire trial. I've talked about him a lot, but every time Kyle Rittenhouse's name comes up, there's a whole lot of people who didn't watch the trial, didn't really pay attention to what was going on, and just saw the news reports that were pretty anti-Kyle. And I don't care one way or another about Kyle. He's just a kid who put himself in a bad situation, but no reason he got attacked and defended himself, and is what it is. Whether he should have been there or not should never have been a question because nobody should have been out there that night. In my opinion, and the people it wasn't the people who were protesting. Remember, I take the Black Lives Matter genre into 3 parts: the actual people who go to protest police brutality and whatever they're protesting, right? They're protesting peacefully. Then you got that second group. They're the I call them the opportunists who see these protests going on and they go and break some shit and go get some free shit out of the stores. And then there's that third group that just wants to come out and destroy shit. They aren't there really to protest anything. They just see it as an opportunity to destroy shit. And on that night, the people who wanted to destroy shit were out in force. The protesters were kind of done. They did their peaceful stuff in light, and then anything happens after dark usually are the people who want to break shit. So Kyle was out there with a bunch of people with guns trying to make sure that they didn't break shit in one place. The other thing, too, every time I hear about this, they always talk about, all these, these white boogaloo boys, white supremacists, whatever, out there came into protest with guns. You realize that those weren't the only people with guns. There were black people out there protecting property with guns. In fact, I'll have to bring this one up again. There's a father-daughter combination. Black people that were protecting a restaurant with AR-15s. The daughter was 16 years old. She was out there with the dad. They're out there protecting a restaurant. So it's not just white people protecting their shit. A lot of people are just out there trying to protect their shit. Okay? Well, in this lawsuit, the judge has decided that the case can proceed. There was a motion to dismiss by both the city of Kenosha and by Kyle Rittenhouse's legal team or whatever. And the federal judge in Wisconsin ruled that Wednesday that the wrongful death lawsuit filed by the father of a man shot and killed by Kyle Rittenhouse during a protest in 2020 can proceed against Rittenhouse police officers and others. Now, this suit is very, very interesting. And I'm going to read the NPR version, then I'll do a couple other versions just to kind of show you there's some slight differences in how they present it. The father of Anthony Huber, one of two men shot and killed by Rittenhouse, filed a lawsuit in 2021 accusing officers of allowing for a dangerous situation that violated his son's constitutional rights and resulted in his death. Now, that's an interesting way to start this lawsuit because the officers violating his son's constitutional rights by allowing a dangerous situation, that's interesting because if the officers had restricted people from going out there, wouldn't they have been violating the young man's constitutional rights to protest or whatever? I mean, that's a catch-22, isn't it? Anyway, Anthony Huber's father, John Huber, also alleged, listen to this, that Rittenhouse, who was 17 at the time of the shootings, conspired with law enforcement to cause harm to protesters. Now, I don't know how he came up with that. Apparently, someone in the ACLU found some text messages or emails from police officers talking shit like that. But how would have Kyle, if you'd watched the trial, you would know that Kyle didn't really have any contact with police officers until after this event. So how exactly did he conspire with law enforcement to cause harm to protesters? Because there would have been no harm to protesters had the protesters in question, four in particular, and one of them didn't necessarily get harmed, the four people that Kyle Rittenhouse fired his weapon at were all attacking him at the time they were harmed. So that's an interesting thing. Conspire with law enforcement. And also, if it was conspire with law enforcement to harm protesters, why did he fail to harm hardly any protesters? Like, none of those people out there were harmed protesters other than the ones who came and attacked Kyle. So I'm curious. John Huber is seeking unspecified damages from city officials, officers, and Rittenhouse. U.S. District Judge Lynn Adelman on Wednesday dismissed motions filed by Rittenhouse and the government defendants seeking to dismiss the civil rights lawsuit. In allowing the case against Rittenhouse and others to proceed, the judge said that Anthony Huber's death could plausibly be regarded as having been proximately caused by the actions of governmental defendants. Now that's interesting too, because notice that she didn't say could plausibly be regarded as having been proximately, well, I suppose that's directly caused by Kyle Rittenhouse's actions, but whatever. Rittenhouse attorney Shane Martin said in phone interviews that it's important to note that the ruling doesn't address the merits of the case. It only allows it to proceed to the next phase. While we respect the judge's decisions, we do not believe there is any evidence of a conspiracy. There wasn't in the murder trial for sure. And we are confident, just as Kenosha jury found Kyle's actions that evening were not wrongful and were undertaken in self-defense, Martin said. So, and then they go on some other details about the case. Now, I want to show you how Rolling Stone covers this, because this is interesting. I haven't read the Washington Post, but this is really good because it's so funny. I constantly have to stop myself from getting in arguments with people on the internet and on Twitter because and the only reason I do is because I've watched the entire trial from start to finish every day. I would. If I couldn't watch it live, I'd watch, because I was watching on Rakita's channel and they had the entire trial. So I watched every single minute of that trial. And I know the trial pretty much back and forth, right? And people still say the stupidest shit about this trial. So I want to show you something in Rolling Stone that caught my eye. So here's their article. Wisconsin judge ruled the wrongful death suit brought by father of Anthony Huber, a man shot and killed by Kyle Rittenhouse, will proceed. U.S. District Judge Lynn Adelman struck down a motion from Rittenhouse attorneys requesting the lawsuit be dismissed. Rittenhouse was acquitted in 2021 of homicide charges brought against him after the then 17-year-old shot 3 men, killing 2, during demonstrations protesting the police shooting of Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Now, just right there, during demonstrations protesting the police shooting of Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin. No, they weren't really protesting the shooting of Jacob Blake that night. There was a protest earlier, but these are the people who are in category 3 of these types of protesters. These are the people who like to just go out and break shit. Now, while the lawsuit was originally filed against Wisconsin law enforcement in 2021, Rittenhouse was added as a defendant in January of last year. John Huber, the father of Anthony Huber, has accused Rittenhouse of conspiring with law enforcement to harm protesters. Boy, oh boy, that's going to take some serious evidence. Conspiring with law enforcement to harm protesters. Now, despite counterclaims from law enforcement and Rittenhouse, and reports that Rittenhouse went to great lengths to avoid being served. Now that's because they don't even know where he lives. Adelman determined that Huber's complaint, quote, adequately pleads of federal and state claims against governmental defendants and Rittenhouse. So basically, this doesn't mean anything. It just means that they can continue into the discovery process. They certainly can try, but it's probably not going to happen. Good morning, Episkipos. Now, the complaint alleges that Rittenhouse and other armed counter-protesters, quote, were subject to a different set of rules and were allowed to move about freely in areas controlled by the law enforcement defendants. Now, this is interesting because they weren't in an area controlled by the law enforcement defendants. The guys protecting those auto shops, auto dealers, whatever, they were outside of the area where the protesters were. The protesters were pushed to them later. Okay. Thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep, real quick. Oh, I need some music for this. And thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep. Dropping a small bullet in the tip jar, a 223, who says the conspiracy by government is more plausible as they did not adequately defend life and property of citizens. Police, city government, etc. are supposed to protect and serve and did neither. That is 100% correct. That is why the citizens were forced to go out and protect their own properties. So I could see them maybe getting a wrongful death from the city, but Kyle Rittenhouse, I think that might be a fat chance. Thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep. Appreciate you. All right, turn that music off. Now, here's the part that made me crack up a little bit. And listen carefully. So the complaint alleges that Rittenhouse and other armed protesters were subject to a different set of rules and were allowed to move about freely in areas controlled by the law enforcement defendants, in contrast to the treatment of protesters. Now, that's interesting, since the protesters also had weapons. The protesters also were moving about freely in the area because the law enforcement didn't do shit to stop them, until they finally got tired of it and decided to move them away from the area where they were protesting, which happened to push them towards the people who were protecting properties. Okay? Now, let me continue. Now listen to this line. Despite openly carrying a rifle, the complainant states that Rittenhouse was never questioned by authorities. At the time, Rittenhouse was a minor, unauthorized to possess such a weapon. The lawsuit further alleges that law enforcement forced protesters into a confined area with hostile armed individuals and failed to protect protesters from violence perpetrated by the armed individuals, resulting in Huber's death. Now, there's a couple problems with this little paragraph, and I'm going to leave it at this one and after this. So, first of all, despite open carrying a rifle, the complaint states that Rittenhouse was never questioned by authorities. Why? Should he have been? What would he have been questioned about? Wisconsin's an open carry state. There's nothing to question him about. 2, at the time, Rittenhouse was a minor, unauthorized to possess such a weapon. Well, I actually had to tweet or send a message to this reporter on Twitter, because that is completely and utterly false. And during the trial, anyone who watched it would have figured that out, because they figured out the law. He was absolutely authorized to possess such a weapon in the state of Wisconsin. There are rules on who can possess a weapon. There are exceptions to those rules. And Kyle Rittenhouse, as a 17-year-old, was fully authorized to carry such a weapon in that state per state statutes. And then finally, the lawsuit further alleges that law enforcement forced protesters into a confined area. Not a confined area. There is no it wasn't confined. They pushed them away from where they were, but they were absolutely not confined to anything. Okay? Confined means you cannot leave the area. They were absolutely free to leave the area, and with hostile armed individuals, hostile or individuals who did nothing. If they were hostile, where were the other shots fired? And failed to protect the protesters from violence perpetrated by the armed individuals. Well, there was no violence perpetrated by the armed individuals. The only, and he said resulting in Huber's death. No, the only people who perpetrated violence were the people who attacked Kyle Rittenhouse, and he protected his own self with his shooting his weapon. I just find that it's very interesting. I think this is going to be picked apart. If I can pick it apart, I'm not a lawyer. I'm pretty sure any decent attorney can pick this apart. It doesn't make sense. Protect the protesters from violence perpetrated by the armed individuals. Again, it was the individuals who got shot who perpetrated the violence, who initiated violence on Kyle Rittenhouse. So it's just, if you had watched the trial, you probably know that, but they don't. So I told her, said, first of all, you need to take that down. At the time, Rittenhouse was a minor, unauthorized to possess such a weapon. That is factually false. And so, but I haven't had a response from her. But anyway, so and then I'm not going to go through the Washington Post one because I'm running out of time here, but it's pretty much the same thing. And then Rittenhouse attorneys sought to dismiss the lawsuit, arguing that Huber's attorneys failed to properly serve him with a copy of the complaint and failed to show that he conspired with law enforcement and other individuals to inflict violence on protesters based on their race. Yeah, and that's right. Part of it was because they said inflict violence on protesters based on their race, except all 3 people who got shot were white boys. And I just used that in a colloquial manner. We disagree that Mr. Huber has stated any plausible claim against Kyle. Shane P. Martin, lawyer for Rittenhouse, told the Washington Post in an interview Thursday, although this ruling allows the case to proceed for now, it does not change the facts. There is simply no conspiracy between Kyle and the Kenosha police to single out Anthony Huber. And as one jury has already found, Kyle's actions that night were not wrongful and were taken in self-defense. So just interesting that that's coming up again. Let's move on. I said I was going to mention the person that I really didn't want to talk about anymore, but just updates on the Eliza Blue situation. Now, apparently, she has reached out to YouTube, and these people are being hit for showing the Eliza Blue World Star clips. It's kind of funny. Well, it's not funny. It's sad. So a couple people got this same message from YouTube. They got a privacy complaint. They got a privacy complaint from YouTube. This is several people. In fact, who are the people real quick? Fair and Balanced, Chrissy Mayer, Seattleite, Jay, I don't know who that is. And that Star Wars girl, Yellow Flash. I think there's one more. I can't remember the name. Aaron Imholte or whatever. All got this message from YouTube now. Hello, this is to notify you that we've received a privacy complaint from an individual regarding your content. And these are people who showed, Fair and Balanced is a YouTuber, journalist, whatever, who is making a documentary about the Eliza Blue situation. And she had just in her trailer for this thing, she had a clip showing a portion of that World Star hip hop video. And so everyone several people, Brittany Venti still isn't up from the first time, but this is a new one now. This is a new one. Targeted at these other people who are talking about this on YouTube, mainly prominent people, but the one is like someone with like 600 followers. So here it is. This is to notify you that if we've received a privacy complaint from an individual regarding your content, please note the violation may also occur in the title, video description, channel image, or background. This notification informs you that another user has raised a privacy concern about your content. However, it will not automatically result in your video being removed. We will review Legal Mindset too got the same notice. We will review the complaint for potential violations, the privacy guidelines, blah, 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 blah. So now she's hitting him, because she can't hit him with copyright because she doesn't own rights to the video. She can't hit them with, the privacy part. She's saying that this was unauthorized. This was just like she did with the Star Wars, or not Star Wars girls, Brittany Venti. Here it is. Now Eliza, this is Steel Morning Show. Now Eliza Blue just filed a privacy complaint against us on YouTube, not taking down shit. We are suspended right now anyway, and we did bigger numbers on Rumble this morning regardless. This woman's remarkably thin skin. Address your inconsistencies or go home and stop whining. Yes, agree with that. So anyway, yeah, she's saying that I don't know what she's saying. Is she saying that she didn't do this? I mean, clearly there's plenty of evidence. Here's what I want to happen. Cannon Hotep, what's up? Here's what I want to happen in this case. Because I've been, this whole time I've said, give this woman the benefit of the doubt. All right, here's my take. If this woman had just said, from the very first time that the World Star Hip Hop video came up, right? And all these things that happened in her life came up, right? Everyone's talking about all the stuff in her past, right? If she had just said from the beginning, you know what? You're right. I do have a lot of things in my past that some I'm proud of, some I'm not, but they're all part of my past. Yes, some of this was during the time that I was going through difficulties, whatever. But right now I am focused on helping women or kids or whatever escape that lifestyle. Do you think there's a single person? I mean, there'd be a few. I should not say a single person. But do you think that most people would have just given her the benefit of the doubt, the fact that she's spent the last 3 years bringing awareness to this cause that she has so, entrenched herself in? But now she's drawn so much attention to herself by getting people banned. First, Brittany Venti has 300,000 YouTube subscribers and tons of people on Twitter, right? The Quartering, over 1 million YouTube subscribers. I think he's like 1.6 million YouTube subscribers. And he's very prominent on Twitter. if she just let it go and say, yes, there's things in my past that I'm not proud of, or things in my past. Yes, I did a lot of things after that, and it helped me cope with whatever I dealt with before then. Whatever she could have said, she would have been just fine. She could have gone about her business. But now, everyone's starting to figure out and digging, because now it's not looking like she really has done anything. And whether she had or not, she could have avoided this nonsense. Now it's just everyone's got their microscopes out. We got people on Kiwi Farms and 4chan digging into her past, and now they're finding everything. And some of it is like, oh, you are full of shit, woman. Because when this first came out, I kept saying, but she's bringing attention to this issue that I think is important. Can she do it? Can she continue doing this? Well, nope. Now she's just starting to make herself look foolish by taking things down that are clearly her own, originated by her. World Stop Hip Hop didn't go to her and say, hey, we want you to be in this video. She went to them. No one told her to be on G Girls. Now, if you don't know what G Girls is, because she was on, there's, oh boy. G Girls, GURLS.com. Actually, just look it up on Twitter and scroll through that for a little bit. She was on that too. No one told her to be on no one told her that she had to be on I don't know, phone escort service website. Now, was that when she was being trafficked? Maybe. She could probably play that off, but she can't anymore. So anyway, now that's the latest. And I said I would only do if there's new breaking news, and that's it. Let me finish up with a few others here. There's an article in Vice. I'm trans and I fled the U.S. because I feel unsafe. Phew, boy. Not German Goo Girls. What is that? No, G Girls. It's GGURLS. This is something I found out yesterday. GGURLS. It's on Twitter, and they have a website, but I don't think it's functioning. I don't know. Just scroll through that and then tell me now they've taken her off of it, apparently, but she was on it. Go look. Just scroll through that and see what that's like. Robin Kaur decided they had to leave the United States as soon as the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. Kaur is a transgender and non-binary. Both? How's that happen? How can you be transgender and non-binary? Aren't those a contradiction of terms? Just curious. And they saw the national right to abortion as canary in the coal mine. Soon they thought the country would attack LGBTQ communities with renewed vigor. In 2022, the anti-trans hate went mainstream. Hundreds of anti-LGBTQ bills were introduced to state legislators, many of them targeting trans people. Did they now? Or did they just say that maybe you should hold off on putting that kid on puberty blockers and ruining their, changing their body chemistry for the rest of their life? I think that might have been what the state legislatures are doing. Once you're 18, do what the hell you want. I don't care what you cut off, add on, chemically induce, chemically uninduce, whatever. When you're an adult, knock yourself out. But before then, no. In 2022, anti-trans legislation went mainstream. Hundreds of anti-LGBTQs were introduced in state legislatures, many of them targeting trans people. Many of them targeting trans people? How so? Oh, you mean the kids? They don't want you to fuck with kids anymore. That's okay. GOP politicians and right-wing pundits have also created a culture war over trans people, calling them groomers and sexual predators, while some legislators have equated gender-affirming care with child abuse. No, it's gender-affirming harm, okay? Until they're 18 and can really completely understand what they're doing. And in fact, I would say you should wait till after you're 25, but, 18 seems to be our legal adult age right now. But I'm sorry, a 12-year-old can't tell you what they're going to be doing in 10 years. They can't tell you what they're doing in 5 years. They can't tell you what they're doing next year. But you say they should be able to have gender-affirming care, which is gender-affirming harm, permanent harm, damage to your body, either through chemical inducements or even at 15, they're cutting people's breasts off. Sorry, you haven't lived long enough to know what your future is and what you want. Nobody thinks about whether or not they want kids when they're 29 at 15. Okay? And what was I saying? Jennifer. Anyway, here we go. So in 2022, Cora packed 2 suitcases and a purse and fled to Europe. They currently live in Germany in a German asylum camp where they plan to seek subsidiary protection from the country so that they don't have to return to the U.S. Why? So they're in a German asylum camp, a German, refugee camp, basically, right? How well do you think they're going to do in the German refugee camps? How well do you think? Who's in the German refugee camps? People from countries where your nonsense is frowned upon even more than the United States. But you're going to go and be in a German refugee camp. Holy shit. Holy shit. By the way, wasn't someone saying, what did they say that 13-year-olds can't do? Someone just recently. Oh, there's some study on how 13-year-olds shouldn't be allowed to have social media because they're too young? You want to cancel their social media, but you want them to be able to make permanent chemical alterations to their body or permanent physical, surgical, medical alterations. But they can't have no social media for you, but you can cut off your breasts. Or no social media for you, but you can start puberty blockers, which will cause you to have permanent damage to your body. These people need to make up their damn minds. Anyway, so the whole story is about the sob story and how, I had to escape America since they're so terrible. Well, I guess good thing you didn't go to England, Finland, or Sweden, where they also are looking at these same things and going, hey, not so fast. Maybe we should be doing this to kids because they really don't have an opportunity to know anything because kids are stupid. I shouldn't say stupid. They are ignorant. They are ignorant of what life is. They don't know enough. And this social contagion that's causing, half the girls in some places to say they're trans or non-binary because they're going through puberty, which is not fun for anybody. And by the way, 90% or more who even claim to have gender dysphoria at that age grows out of it. So why are we making permanent changes to children? But, you fled the country because you feel unsafe. I'm going to assume that Robin Kaur, or however you say the name, is an adult. Be an adult, be trans, be whatever you want. Just stop messing with the kids. And that's what the legislators are doing. So, sorry, you left the country. You chose to. Bye. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. And hope none of the other refugees there mess with you too bad, so to speak. All right. I had a couple articles from something else. I'm going to skip this because, Ron, I'll finish with this. Ron Klain is leaving the White House. Remember Ron Klain, the chief of staff, Ron Klain is what made the Biden administration the third Obama presidency because Joe Biden ain't running the show. It was Ron Klain. But Ron Klain is leaving the White House because I think he sees that the Titanic has hit an iceberg and he's getting on the lifeboat and ahead of them women and children. So here it is. Ron Klain's farewell speech apparently was a teary one. Ron Klain had a small boulder to cry on as he delivered a farewell address, marking his exit as the White House chief of staff. Here's Ron Klain. Being
often asked, what is the best souvenir I got in 2 years as White House chief of staff?
And my answer an extra toupee to sniff?
It's this rock. This plate, it's Civil Rock.
Oh.
It was given to me a year ago.
I'm verklempt.
On one of our darker days by Louisa Terrell. And
yes.
It's always symbolized to me the fact that this
be on
team
CNN or
has been rock
MSNBC.
solid in their support of our agenda, and the president, we've never wavered. We've been as solid as a rock.
Will probably be on MSNBC because he's a little more left than the average chief of staff. So anyway, that was Ron's teary farewell. And Ron, don't let the door hit you in the ass. Anyway, there's a couple other articles in the tabs today, but I don't have time. So we're going to skip them. But you can look them up, because here's what I'm going to do, like I do every show. During the outro today, as I do every day, all these articles, links, tweets, videos, whatever, will be in a single link in the description down below on both Rumble and on YouTube. It's called a one-tab link, second paragraph. Here's all the articles. You click one link and they will be listed on one single page, everything we did. So if you want to make a video, or you're looking for something to write about or whatever, or laugh about, you can go back and look at all the stuff that I put in the ads. Also, my locals page will be there. Please, I highly suggest you follow me on locals. If not, support me on locals. It's like a Patreon, but the version I chose to use was locals. If you follow me there and I happen to get the yeet from YouTube, or if something happens and you're wondering where I'm at, I will be posting stuff there. Also on Twitter, if you don't follow me there, follow me there. Instagram, I haven't posted there for a while, but if you like to see pretty pictures, that's what I usually put there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got to call it a day. Thanks for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. Hit the like button, share the stream, sponsor the show for 24 hours a day, pdognight.live, Venmo, Cash App, and YouTube Super Chats during the show. Also, I read whatever you write. Sometimes I have to take some editorial license, just depending on the rules of the platform I'm on. But anyway, that's it. I need to go. Thanks for being here. My name is P. Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is P. Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P. Dawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P. Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.